Curtis was most recently the Transition Director for Central Florida Project Bridge, which serves 165 at-risk youth daily across 6 circuits. He has recently begun a new journey, creating his own company to provide training and consultation rooted in motivational interviewing that we all love, those principles. He has taught motivational interviewing to workforce professionals that serve participants in different areas in Central and South Florida, North and South Carolina, New York, Louisiana, Georgia, and Maryland. Curtis has emceed large-scale fundraisers, hosts his own podcast focused on workplace change, and has spoken at many workforce conferences across the country. Curtis, the stage is yours.
Okay, thank you, Ann.
You're welcome.
How's everybody doing? Good. Is the mic on? Yeah, it is. All right. First open-ended question. Anybody want to guess why the podium is over there and not up here? Why'd you have to say it like that? Why'd you say that so quickly? It blocks me. Goodness. All right. Yeah, Chesley moved it off because she said it made me look short. So, first step of presenting, you get sympathy from the audience. Was it Alexis? Is this Alexis here? No? That's an incredible story. So before we even start off, can you give yourselves a round of applause, please, for the work that you do? It is. And that's no joke. When I told people I was coming here to present at Healthy Families of Florida, they were like, oh, they do amazing work. One person posted on my Facebook, if I was a millionaire, I would donate $1 million to them. They're so amazing. Yes. You can friend them, but it's not going to help you at all. I'm sorry. They're not a millionaire yet. Speaking of props as well, can we give some props to organize and put this thing together? There's a lot of work that goes behind the scenes, and it's a big deal. So, and speaking of work behind the scenes, did everybody else get a swag bag like I did? What in the world? I have to send bag stuffers to Ohio in a month, and I'm just sending granola bars and stickers. Thank you. I like you. Thank you for that. Yeah, I mean, but it's expensive. But in this swag bag, there were cups and all of this good stuff. So give some round of applause for the swag bag maker. All right, that's the last time I asked you to. All right. So let's talk about why I'm on this stage. And also there are prop bets that I'll either kick this off or fall off. So if I do either of that, it's all part of the presentation. So look, a door was slammed in my face. That's how we got here. A door was slammed in my face. So probably about 7 years ago when I got into this whole case management and social work field, started working with the most at-risk juveniles in Central Florida, I had that mindset that, and I don't know if anyone can relate to this, that I was going to save the world. Change the world, right? I would literally get into my little Kia Optima and drive into some of the most challenging neighborhoods in Florida and be like, I'm gonna change everything. South St. Pete, Robles Park over in Hillsborough. I was everywhere. I'm gonna do it. And we made differences. We made changes. But because I had that mentality, that I'm gonna change the world mentality, they like to give me the more challenging cases. Right? Oh, okay, you cocky guy coming in here. We'll give you, some challenges, right? So one of them, a case transferred to me. I go to this young man's house and to meet with him and the family, and he's about 18, 19. I pulled up all excited. Yeah, I'm gonna change this man. No one else could do it, but I'm gonna do it, right? So I knock on the door, and he barely opens it, and he goes, what you want? Okay, hey, hi. I'm Curtis. Nice to meet you. I said, hey, I just got recently transferred to your case, and I'm super excited to learn about how I can help you, and we could work towards your goals together. It's a pretty good line, right? He said, I don't need your help. Slam the door in my face. All right, well, that's okay. Knock, knock again. Knock, knock, right? He opens it. Man, what do you want? I said, look, I was reviewing your goal plan, and I saw on there that you wanted to go to that community college that's not too far away. I'm interested to hear how we can make that happen together. I don't need your help. I'll go on my own. Slams the door in my face. All right. 2 slams is pretty good for me, so I was leaving. So I left the house, and on the way out of the area, I saw the community college. So what do you think I do? Go in, right? The idea is I'll get some information about what classes they offer, maybe talk to a financial aid person, something to show them, hey, you know what, we can do this. I'm going to work on your behalf too, right? So while I'm there, I do all that, and I'm leaving, and I see there's a gift shop with a shirt that has the college's name on the front. Now, here's an important part of the story. The shirt was on sale. And for anybody that works in social services or a nonprofit or for the state, yeah, right? That sale thing is really important. So it was on sale, so I bought the shirt with the college's name on the front, and then what do you think I did? Went right back to the house. Right back to the house. Pulled up to the house, knocked on the door. Man, what do you want? I said, look, you said you're going to college. I believe you're going to college. As a matter of fact, you're going to wear this shirt on your first day. He took the shirt, closed the door again. I'm standing there, not sure what's going to happen. He then opens the door, and he comes out wearing the shirt with a smile on his face. First step in establishing rapport, establishing a relationship. He actually ended up enrolling in college. So, yeah, heck yeah. Yeah. So I say all that to say that's just one of many experiences that showed me that there are a certain set of skills and techniques and approaches that can 100% influence motivation. It can inspire people to consider change. There is. So I took an even deeper dive and said, I want to learn more of these. And as I did that, I started becoming a trainer myself. I did trainings for case managers, mental health counselors. All of it was Florida. I said, well, let me really test this out. So they sent me to the Bronx. And by the way, I pulled up in the Bronx. Like you, Chesley already made fun of my height, so I pulled up in the Bronx with a button down. It went amazing, right? Then I went to rural South Carolina, Arizona. Eventually, I said, give me another bigger challenge. I got to make sure this stuff works. They sent me to the high-risk prison in South Carolina Department of Corrections. The reason they sent me there were 2 months earlier, there was a mass riot where 4 inmates were killed. Me, because this whole Save the World guy, I didn't do any of that research before I went there. And I'm there, and someone texts me, hey, did you Google this? I said, why? Google what? It looks amazing. And then I Googled it and saw there was a news story about it, right? But ended up training 110 correction officers, 96% satisfaction rate. Because the thing is, empathy, collaboration, compassion, evocation, acceptance, all these things that we're going to discuss a little bit today, doesn't matter what area you're in, everyone wants to be heard. It doesn't matter what city you're in, everyone wants to be shown empathy and respect, right? So I said, you know what? Now it's time for the next step, and the next step is why I'm here. And this is actually a pretty big deal. You all are the very first group that I have done a speech or presentation with on behalf of my new company, Speak for Motivating Change. You all are going to be history for me, so I appreciate y'all being here today. Give me a round of applause. So that's it. So I got my own company doing big things, clipping coupons now, stuff like that, making sure all the finances are good. But that's why I am here. So let's talk about it. If anyone knows me, I love quotes. I love quotes. I don't know why. I don't know what happened. I think at some point when I was going through a lot personally, I saw a quote that stuck with me. And ever since then, the quote, gets me and motivates me when I really need it. So we got 3 quotes today that are going to allow us to kind of dive through what we're talking about. All right? The first one, and you'll notice I'll ask a lot of open-ended questions and for feedback. Contrary to what you might have heard, I don't like hearing my own voice constantly. Some people disagree with that. Chesley is shaking her head, but I do want to ask for some feedback. So this first quote, it says, each person is the main character in their own movie. When you see that quote, when you hear that quote, what comes to mind? Who said that? The hero. Talk to me about that. What do you mean by they're the hero? I like that. They got motivations. They got reasons. There's stuff happening that's contributing to what they're doing for sure. Who else? Yes.
You kind of get to change the narrative. So if you want to be the bad or the good, right? Or the ending might be. So you're your own character to kind of make that.
I like that. You get to shape your narrative, why you do things. You get to frame them in whatever way you want to frame them. Sometimes it's good. Sometimes it allows you to explain away some things for sure. So the reason this quote stood out to me and the movie thing is interesting. Has anyone ever seen the movie Joker? The one with Joaquin Phoenix? I pronounced that wrong. Yes? So in short, the movie is about a person that has a lot of bad things happen to them, and then they end up doing some really bad things, right? And after I saw the movie, after I saw this quote, and it hit me because now at no point during that movie was I judgmental of what was happening. Or not at no point during that movie did I say, I just don't understand why he's doing this. I did understand because it showed me all of the experiences, the moments, the feelings, the attitudes that have led up to who that person is. I understood. They were the main character in their movie, right? And it's the same thing with us. We can easily jump to conclusions, right? You could say, hey, I want to quit smoking, but it's too hard right now. And I could jump to conclusions. Oh, you just probably, don't want to commit to it, or it's lazy, or it's easy, I did it, right? But there have been millions of experiences, moments, feelings, thoughts that have led to you to that moment to make a decision. And all behavior is a reaction or a symptom to what we value, what we think, what we believe. So our role in a lot of these techniques that I fell in love with and some will discuss today is find out what made them that main character in their own movie. Because if we can get there, now we can talk about starting to influence change, right? So let's talk about another movie, that iceberg. What movie is that from? Titanic. Speaking of judgmental, Rose never lit him up on the little thing, huh? He was just in the... I still don't understand. That's fine. All right, so I digress. I got confused. That's not even on the notes. So the iceberg, what part of the iceberg sunk the Titanic? The bottom. And that's always been fascinating to me because this captain that is responsible for so many people was making all of his decisions based on what was on the surface. Should I go fast, slow, left, right, the direction I'll go? Everything's on the surface, right? When the things that can really move mountains, cause the most damage, or help are underneath. And that always stood out to me. And what is underneath? The values, the attitudes, the beliefs, the experiences, and the feelings. All of that is underneath our iceberg, and all behavior is a response to that. Right? You don't consciously think, all right, I'm going to go help that person because when I was 3, someone helped, right? All of this stuff has shaped you. It's deep down. And as soon as you're deciding what behavior you're going to display, all that is because of all that stuff that's deep down. Right? A good example of this is probably about 3 years ago, I was in a little drive-through ATM line. When they had ATM, you just pull your car in. And there was a lady, older lady, and she was struggling with the ATM machine, right? You could tell because she was hit a button and then kind of went back in her car. And, you could just observe someone's having some struggles. Finally, after about 15 or 20 minutes, she left, so it was my turn. I pull up, and right when I go to put my card in, what do I see? Her card. So I'm already in a rush, but she left her card in there, so I said, you know what? I took the card out, I pulled out, I didn't do my thing yet, I just went in the bank, gave the bank teller, here's the lady left her card, explain the situation, right? So what values, attitudes, experiences, or beliefs do you think I might have had or I have that led me to do that? to take the car, skip what I was doing, and go give it back so it can get back in the hands of that old lady. Yes? Sure, yeah. There's been times where I've lost my credit card 100%, right? And I would hope it didn't fall in the wrong hands. So I'm sure that led to it. What else? That's a big one. Karma for me is a really big one. What you put out there is what you get back. So if in that situation I got distracted, hopefully someone would give it back, right? So let's imagine same scenario. But a adult or a 20-year-old, maybe a history of being involved in the justice system, maybe a history of robbery, maybe a low socioeconomic community, not a lot of support from home. Same scenario, he pulls up though, and instead of giving the card back, he takes it and he goes and uses it for whatever, buys whatever at a local store. What in that scenario do you think might be some values, attitudes, or beliefs, experience, and feelings that he has? Trauma? Survival of the fittest, a dog-eat-dog world. Yeah. What else? That's a big one. Yeah, if someone saw my card, they damn sure not going to give it back to me, right? Causes him to use it. So same process for me, and we're just talking process. We're not talking about process. Same process for me that leads to my behavior, same process to him that leads to his behavior, right? So let's flip this a little bit and say, even though I value karma, even though honesty or if I did it, I would want someone to help me. Let's say those are my values and experiences, but despite that, I take the card. And I go use it and buy some stuff for myself. Now later that night, I'm sitting in bed and I'm thinking about the decision I made. How might I feel? 100%. 100%. If you have something that's truly valued, it's ingrained in you, and you go against that, you're going to feel a little regret, remorse, or guilty. So let's say that same young man, dog-eat-dog world, nobody's looking out for me. I got to take care of myself. Someone would do it to me, but he decides for whatever reason to give it back. How might he be feeling later that night thinking about the situation? Say it again. Proud? Hopefully. Guilty? There might be a little regret, right? I'm sitting here thinking, I could have had $300-400. Right? She probably has it. Man, if my boys find out about this, they're going to think I'm a fool. Right? And that's the hook when we're talking empathy, is in that scenario, just as difficult as it would be for me to take it, it would be just as difficult for him to give it back. And that's where we talk about being the main character in your own movie. Right? And a really easy way to demonstrate this too, and we're going to pretend this is Vegas. Is that okay? Ann, is that okay? This is Vegas? Oh, Ann said, right on. Woo, okay. Oh, hold on, Ann. Was that you at the bar last night? No, just playing. So let's imagine this is Vegas. And when I say Vegas, it's, whatever you say here stays here. No judgment. Who here, and just raise your hand, is willing to speed on the interstate 10 miles over the speed limit? I say raise your hand, not comment out loud what you say. Was that a ridiculous question? You guys are looking at me like I'm foolish. Somebody needs to check the MVR. This is a motor vehicle report. I don't know how healthy families are. AT. All right, wait, keep your hand up if you're willing to do that for me. All right. So same question, but keep it up if you're willing to go 10 miles in a residential neighborhood. 10 miles over the speed limit in a residential neighborhood. So I saw, no judgment. This is about no judgment zone, this whole. It's going to be okay, Ann. This is Vegas, remember. For someone who had their hand up on 10 on interstate, but put their hand down in a residential, can you kind of tell me what changed? Say it again? Children or dogs? Yeah. Cats? Are you a dog owner? What'd she say? A squirrel owner? So you like pets? All right, fair enough. What else? Somebody who had their hand up but put it down at the residential. What's the reason you put it down? Yeah. I like it. You're more likely to get caught in a residential. Yeah, all right. Somebody, yes? Oh, because everybody else is doing it. Got you. Anybody else?
Your neighbors will call you out on the HOA True statement.
Wow. Your neighborhood has a message board and a... Man, now that's an experience that has shaped your iceberg for sure. All right. You know what the funniest thing about this question is that I've asked this everywhere I've gone, and no one has ever said, I'm putting my hand down because it's illegal. And I work with, like, most people, they're involved with people who they're trying to help people not do things illegal. And like, it doesn't, so, but what do people do? They say, well, I'll put my hands down because I don't want to hurt a child. Usually, they either work directly with children or they're a parent. Their behavior changed because of underneath the iceberg. There might be dogs there. Dog owner, pet lover, behavior changed, right? It's not because the speed limit is you shouldn't speed. It's because me pushing the boundaries, I'm going to push it as far as I can without it impacting the things that are most important to me. And the funniest thing, too, is for the rationale on the speeding on the interstate. I do it because everybody else is doing it. How many people involved in the justice system say that? I do it because I know that really, if it's 9 miles, they won't pull you over. If it's 11, it's kind of iffy. You know, how many people in the justice system? Well, all I did was, it wasn't even that big a deal. Yeah. Right? And the reason I'm saying that is because I'm just trying to normalize the process. The same process you went in that moment to judge what you say, what behavior is justifiable, is the same process they go through. It's just you're basing it, your iceberg's a little different, right? So if we want to motivate and influence and find passion and purpose, it's about what's underneath that iceberg. Very, very first step. Cool? Everybody drive safely after this? Woo! I'm just playing. No judgment. No judgment. So what we're going to do is we actually, so you don't have to hear me this entire time, we worked in an activity. So what we're going to do in this activity is everybody in their packet has a little participant guide that we printed out. So if you could find that, and it should say it should have Speak4MC on the front, and then it should have some values listed in it. So take a moment to find that, and when you find it, go to page 2. There's really a website that reports on your speeding in your neighborhood? If you run your sprinklers too long, they put that on the message board too? What in the world? I don't like that. Well, I feel like that's a good alert though. That's a solid. What's this? You're like, damn, the possum, where's the machete at? Because that guy is. All right. Is everybody on page 2? And on page 2, let's see if I remember what I actually put in there. Is there an opportunity to write a goal or behavior? Does it give examples I want to lose weight or save money or something like that? All right, cool. So we're on the same page. So what I want you to do is I'm only going to give you a minute or so. identify 2 goals, 1 personal and 1 work. If you can't think of 1 work, you could do 2 personal. If you can't think of 1 personal, you can do 2 work. But it has to be a goal or a behavior that you are either considering working towards or you've already taken some steps towards. And I put some examples in there in case you can't think of one. Make sure it's real. Like, don't put, I want to be a billionaire, right? Like, that could be a real goal, but you know what I mean. Come on now. So think of 1 personal, 1 work. Take a moment and write those down on that sheet where I gave you a space to write. I'm going to just give you 2 minutes to do that. 2 minutes. I'm okay with time. Where's my time runner? Thank you. We're doing good? You didn't hold a sign up yet. Thank you. Appreciate you. All right. So I write those 2 goals. You're not going to have to come up on stage and share them unless you want to. So be transparent with yourself. All right. After you do that, turn to the page that has a list of values. There should be a bunch of different values on that sheet. And what we're going to do here is what I used to do a lot with our programs is sometimes it's hard to get to the root of things by just asking questions. It takes time, right? Or you can have more of a directive approach and get right at it. And let's find out which values are the most important to you. So what I want you to do on that sheet is circle your top 5 values. I understand there's probably more on there that you want to circle, but I'm talking about the top 5 non-negotiables. Top 5, this is your rock, your foundation. Someone is not going to change your mind about the importance of these. So just take a minute or 2 and circle your top 5 values. And there's always somebody that says, can I do 6? No, you can't do 6. Well, no. Circle those top 5 values. Chesley, I didn't fall off the stage yet. Where are you? Proud of me. Thank you. Oh, she's out there. She didn't hear that. Top 5 values. It can be difficult, especially when you get to night number 5. You're like, oh, I don't know if it's this one or this one. It's important. Give you 30 more seconds. Didn't even have my stopwatch on. All right. All right, so what we're going to do here is, depending on your comfort level, it could either be someone next to you, or if there's someone else in the room that you feel more comfortable with. What I want you to do, when instructed, not yet, is you're going to trade your value sheet with them. So they're going to have yours, and you're going to have theirs. Once you do that, I'm going to give you only 3 minutes, 1 person at a time. So what I mean by that is if I traded mine with Ann, I'm not going to talk about mine, and then Ann talks about hers. I'm just talking about mine for 3 minutes. Does that make sense? Because then we're going to stop and we're going to switch. So what I want you to do with your partner is use these questions to talk through and try to get an understanding what made them circle those top 5. And it's interesting because respect, for instance, to one person could mean something very different to somebody else. Trust to one person could mean something very different to someone else. So what I want you to do with your partner is you're just going to say, hey, let's say the behavior, the goal that you picked was saving money. How does saving money fit in with your top value of respect? Just ask them that. Let them think through it, right? And then let them answer. Ask them, what role does independence have in your decision to work towards getting healthy? You with me? Make sense? Use these questions and their value sheet to guide the discussion. You're only going to get 3 minutes, so it's not going to take long, so don't panic after 30 seconds and say, I don't know what to do. 3 minutes, just have a conversation and take a genuine interest to learn there's a lot of values there. And they only pick 5, right? So figure out what that is. So go ahead and partner up. And then when I say go, you're going to start your conversations. If you want to split up, like go near the wall or sit in a different spot so you're not on top of each other, you can. If you just want to turn your chair, you can as well. Yes? 3 minutes each. Yeah. You're like, I better get my 3 minutes. Yeah, okay, I got you. Good. You
want a timekeeper?
I got it. All right. So don't start yet. Don't start yet. Where's my mic? Don't start yet. All right. My mic man, can you turn me up for a second? Don't start yet. I just want you to pair up first so then I can start my timer. You guys are jumping right into it. I love it. All right. Remember, only one person is talking about their values for the first 3 minutes, and then we'll swap, okay? All right. Ready? Go. All right, so this is what we're gonna do. We'll call one person the value question asker and one person the value talker. What I mean by that is if you were talking about your values, you're the talker. So whoever was my value talker, the one talking about your values, can someone share their experience of what it felt like to take a deep dive on what you circled, or what it felt like maybe answering some of these questions? Yes? Oh, yes. We got a mic for you. It's big time.
Anna, you need a mic.
I don't think I need a mic, but okay. Before we even started and you told us what the thing was, I was like, oh, do they? Then as we were talking, and I know everyone will get a kick out of that, my goal was to complete the BSR sections by October 31st. So I'm like, how does spirituality fit into that? Because God will give me the strength, and I'll
Give a round of applause. Yeah.
And the calmer I am, the better I'll be for him.
The calmer I am.
So this was a pretty cool exercise. Yeah, they fit in perfectly as we started talking.
It's interesting, huh?
Yeah.
How the iceberg. Who else? Who is someone else that discussed their values? Kind of share your experience.
Come on, side A. Come on, side A.
So, like, how did it all connect?
Yeah, just what it feel like talking about your values or answering these questions, kind of analyzing yourself a little bit on that side.
Well, for me, it just made sense because I just tell you what I wrote. I put being confident and connected, excellence, and family. One, I got children, so I had to circle that one. No, I didn't have to. I get to.
This
circle
thing's
that
being
one.
recorded. If they find out you didn't circle family.
That's why I changed it. I get to circle family because they mean everything to me. But if I'm being confident, I'm being bold and I'm taking actions to do things. When I lack confidence, I'm not necessarily doing what I want to do. And then it's also, nothing is perfect in life. You can't, when you're completing a task, even helping families, you can't do it in perfection, but you can do it in excellence. And also connection. We are working with families, so everything you do in life is connection. It's connecting with others. It's connecting with everything you do. So that was my full circle.
Love that. What's your name?
Becca.
Give Becca a round of applause. That was awesome. Good job. And it's funny how both of you said it, like it all connects. I remember I did one of these at a mental health facility, and there was a counselor there, and she raises her hand and goes, "This activity makes no sense. My values have nothing to do with my goal." And then, by the way, anytime someone goes like, "I got a question," it's never been a positive for me in the training. But I got something to say. All right, well. All right, never mind. But I said, let's talk about it then, right? Well, what was your value? And the main one she focused on was integrity. Okay, so what was the goal? Quitting coffee. Okay. And she's like, see, it doesn't connect. I said, well, out of everything that you decided to circle, what made you circle integrity? I'm just interested. She said, well, and she thought about it. She's like, me doing what I say I'm going to do and being a role model and following through on who I am and what I preach is important.
Oh, there it is.
You know where I'm going? You want to guess what type of counselor she was? Right? So But I asked her, I said, well, what made you circle quit coffee? And she said, well, because I tried to stop like a couple weeks ago, and I ended up getting headaches. So, like withdrawals? Like caffeine withdrawals? Boom.
I'm a substance abuse therapist. That's not a good therapist.
Hey, right? I mean, again, no judgment, but. So, her going through withdrawals and not being able to stop something that's causing withdrawals, it hit her integrity because that's what she is helping others do, right? And then initially, she didn't even connect the dots, but sometimes you have to really unpack and take a deep dive because they definitely connect. All right, so what I'm going to do, same thing. If you were asking the questions before, now you're the one talking about your values. Again, only giving you 3 minutes. Same process, and go. All right, time is up. Time is up. Oh, we did pretty good this time. Yeah, thank you. All right, same question as before. The people that were talking about their values this time, you obviously switched roles. Can someone who then switched roles share what your experience was like being on the other side of it this time around? Yes?
I think that I had a bit of a heads up because I knew sort of what was coming. So one of my goals was I do CrossFit.
Nice.
We have a challenge. One of our challenges is to eat 800 grams of fruits and vegetables daily, which is a lot harder than, and it has to be 6 different types of fruits and vegetables. So you can't eat like 800 grams of carrots and be fine. And so one of my goals, well, I think 3 of my values, I did consistency, and I did equality or equity, and then I did results-oriented too. So I'm very big on if I know what the result of something is supposed to be, then I'm able to sort of work my way through it. So the first day sucked because it was day 1, and I had to end up eating lots of spinach and other things that I don't enjoy. But by the time I got to day 5, I had already worked out a plan, so.
I like it. So first day was Popeye, but after that, you were rolling. I like that. Self-analyzing your own behavior while you're doing things, how it connects. I love that. Who else? Can I get one more person? Yes?
I'm usually pretty good at this. Talking for a living. Actually, Patrick did a great job getting me to see that one of my values is a hindrance to one of my goals.
Ooh, everybody at the same time. Oh! We didn't rehearse that either. That was good. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I just thought I had never thought of it because I pride myself on that value.
Yeah.
But when I connected it to the goal, I see that can be a speed bump on my way to the goal.
Wow. We're doing some real deep dive self-analysis over there. Awesome. So give yourselves a round of applause for doing this little activity with us. I appreciate it. When you have these conversations, sometimes it can create discomfort in the other person, or if you're talking about yourself, it can create discomfort for yourself. Because if you come to the realization, or at least think, that how you're behaving conflicts with the things most important to you, it creates discomfort. The good news is, though, the very first thing that happens before taking a step towards change is discomfort. So it's okay to create discomfort with the families, the people you serve, and then definitely yourself. You with me? Awesome. All right, let's keep it moving. The quote number 2, judge yourself by the effort, but not the outcome. When you read, and I know some of my supervisors in the room probably like, don't say that. We got outcomes. I get it. Former director. Don't jump on me. Just bear with me for a second. Judge yourself by the effort, not the outcome. What comes to mind when you read that quote? So the desired outcome that you want, it's not going to happen 100% of the time. Yep, and failure is a real part of life. I had to learn this quote very early on in my case management days when I had to make a decision, am I going to burn out or am I going to try to find a balance to understand that I can't control everything this population does. I just can't. So then I made a switch and said, for moving forward, I'm going to judge myself on how disciplined I am to doing the things that I think will put that family in the best position to succeed. And if they don't, I can't control that all the time. So judge yourself by the discipline to the techniques, to the approaches, doing the stuff that you know works, and not always the outcome of it. And I'll give you an example here of what I'm saying. I forgot Panera was there. You know there's not a Panera for like 14 miles of this hotel? I digress. Sorry, Chesley. All right. So in my little case management days, I had to go see this family, and the family's son, about 19 years old, who was about an hour and 45 minutes away from my house. I'm sure you guys drive a lot for your job. So if anyone understands the Central Florida area, I was on the east side of Orlando, and this young person lived in Point Siena. Yeah, thank you. That made me, giving me some sympathy. Appreciate that. So I would drive an hour and 45 minutes out there, and I would meet with them, and I would say, and the family, and I would say, hey, you said you're going to go do your TABE test so you can get a GED class. Kind of talk to me about how that's going. Oh, I was supposed to do that. I forgot about that. I'll do it next time. Ooh, okay, right? And then next week, I got to go out there every week. Now I'm back there the next week. Hey, we talked about applying to at least 3 jobs, so you could start supporting the house and paying some bills. You're like, how's that going? Oh, you know what happened? I had to babysit, and then, me and the friends went out. Right? We did this for about 3.5 to 4 months. Little outcomes. Eventually, the family and the young person no longer with the program. I kid you not. 3 years later, I'm not even a case manager anymore, now I'm a program manager. 3 years later, I get an email, and this is the actual email. Excuse the grammar, because I took the exact email. He said, hey, Curtis, it's Chris. I want to let you know I moved to Boston a year ago and found a job at Panera. There's the picture. I've been working there for about 10 months and learned everything I could. I found another job 5 months later at Target, and recently one of the managers at Panera saw the skills I had in the cafe and sent me off to be a zone leader. He also told me I could be the next shift supervisor. On a personal note, I met someone named Wendy, and she is the mother of my daughter. Her name is Mackenzie. She is 6 months old. And then this was the line that hit. He said, I just wanted to let you know I was doing okay. Wow. Right? 3 years later. And the crazy thing is, I responded back. I was like, man, I'm so proud of you. What's going on? He didn't even respond back. I was like, what the? That's it. He's like, man, I think something clicked. Like, he's like, this man was driving out. The mileage was crazy, man. He just wanted to know I was doing okay. Judge yourself by the effort and your discipline to the processes that you know work. Discipline to the things that you know will encourage relationships and influence change. The outcome will come. But despite that, there are this little thing called barriers. Maybe this was just me and my experience. Do y'all ever experience barriers in the workplace? Oh, okay. So it's not just me? Oh, okay. Well, let's look at some of the most common ones. Here are the most common barriers that we throw up when we want to not discuss our progress towards a goal or a behavior. And notice I say we and not just our families or the populations we serve, because I want to normalize the process. What they're going through, we're going through. The iceberg might be different at times, right? But the process is the same. So here are some common ones. And as you can see, I forgot in the corner. That's the one he gave to me 1,000,000 times. I still remember we set up a job interview for this other young man. He said, the only job I work in is construction. That's it. I'm not doing anything else. Got him an interview at a construction place. Called him the morning of. Hey, man, just let you know we're proud of you. If you need anything, let me know. Let me know how the interview goes. Call him later. What does he say? Ooh, you talking about having there's this other thing I say, check your feelings. If you know emotionally you're about to go, I got another call. I'm gonna call you back later, right? Just because you don't want to go crazy, right? Because there's an expression, if you argue with a child, it's gonna look like two children arguing, right? So, but which of these stands out to you? Either you caught yourself doing not wanting to discuss the progress towards the goal, or something maybe a family, or maybe it's a peer. Just which of these stands out to you? I forgot. It's a common one for sure.
Putting off doing something.
Procrastination? That's not just me then, huh? All right. Diversion? Talk to me about that.
Because you're deflecting it to something else. You don't want to address it, so it's a form of avoid deflecting.
I think you can go on social media and find a lot of that, right? Do you think maybe you should be smoking cigarettes? Maybe you should be having that Coke, right? You put it right back. All right. So here are just some common barriers, and the only reason I wanted to put this up here is to normalize it, right? If you see this or you experience this either with your families, with your peers at work, right? You guys are supposed to be working together on something, and then they're doing something, or you. If you had a plan to exercise, and then you find yourself coming up with some reasons why maybe you shouldn't, it's a normal process when trying to embark on a new change or a goal or experiencing a setback. It's normal. So what we want to do in response to that is this thing called the MI-inspired spirit. Look at that picture. That's Mr. Watts. Full name Watson. So he's a deaf dog that I love, and he has his own Facebook page. Don't judge me. I heard some judgmental whispers after I said that. The reason I put that is because if that picture doesn't represent compassion, what does? We had an argument. He came to make up. He put his hand up. All right. I apologize. All right. So the MI-inspired spirit is what? So when someone throws up the barriers, the best way to de-arm them or bring those barriers down is using the MI-inspired spirit. So let's talk about what that is. The first one is partnership. It's done for and with a person. It's a collaboration between two experts. What do you think that means? Partnership is a collaboration between two experts. How might that be important when you're working with someone towards a new goal or a new change or a new behavior? Say it again?
You're equal.
Equal? What does that matter?
Well, because, I mean, in therapy, in general, you don't want to be better than any, because you're not. You are equal with that person. You have to meet them on their own level. You can't be the expert, and because they're the expert of their own life. Like, that's their life. It's what they're living. We can't tell them how they're living. We can see it from the outside, like you said, with the iceberg. But it's not real.
I like that. They're the expert in their own change. And that's such a great point because I just think the most common one when I do these is eating healthy or exercising. There's a reason that's a multi-billion-dollar industry, right? 100%. The thing is, that person knows why they wrote that down, right? They know when they tried to get healthy in the past. They know how it went. They know how they felt when they succeeded. They know how they felt when they took a step back. They know why they're not doing it right now. They know what could cause them to maybe consider doing it again. They are the expert. So if we come in here, hey, I'm going to say, oh, you need to exercise? There's a gym up the street. I'll get you membership. I'm acting like I'm the expert in their own change. The other interesting thing about partnership and collaboration is if there's a problem or a task that needs to be completed, and let's do supervisor and then direct report. If that direct report goes to the supervisor, and the supervisor says, look, we got a problem. I'm going to tell you exactly how to fix it, and do exactly what I say, and if you do that, the problem will be done, and then come back and report to me. Yeah, okay. And then you go and follow their guidance exactly, and a barrier comes up. Something gets in the way of that plan being a success, which usually in life, something does. Because you did not have a say in that plan, you're going to say, their plan didn't work. You're not going to critically think how to solve that barrier. That was their plan. You can go back to the supervisor, hey, I did exactly what you said, and look, it didn't work because of this. right? Whereas if that supervisor says, hey, here's my plan on how we think we could tackle this, what are your thoughts on what would be the most effective approach? And now, when you go tackle that problem and a barrier comes up, which it will because that's life, you're now more likely to critically think and figure out how to problem solve that barrier because you have an investment in the success of that plan. It's the same thing with our families and you. If you have an investment because you are a part of that planning process, you're more likely to solve the barriers when they come up, right? Sometimes in our field, I don't know about you, sometimes we get in that expert trap. I've been doing this so long, do exactly this, you do this, everything's going to be okay. They need to have a say. Partnership, really important. What about acceptance? To accept a person does not mean that you necessarily approve. Let me ask you a question. Do you have to agree with someone to practice acceptance? Do you have to agree with someone to practice empathy? Absolutely not. And sometimes people get that confused. They think validating feelings is the same thing as validating ideas. It's not, right? Acceptance is, let me see the world like you're the main character in your own movie and understand what it looks like from your perspective. One of the best ways to establish rapport early on is to express a genuine understanding on how they got to this place they are and why they think the way they think. Even you, in 2-3 minutes discussing your values, if you felt that person was genuinely cared what you were saying, you're going to be more likely to talk about it because it's something that's important to you. So practicing acceptance is not agreeance. It's just empathy, trying to understand the world. Imagine if we did this on a regular basis. I don't know about you. I went on Twitter the other day. There wasn't a lot of that. And Twitter is not the world, so you know what I mean. The next thing is compassion. I don't think I have to go through into this based on everything I've seen and heard about your organization. There's compassion that runs through it like crazy. The best way to establish rapport, if it's whether with a peer, someone new to your life, or a family, is to show compassion, and one of the best ways to do that is to actively work on their behalf and prioritize their needs. If you can demonstrate that you're putting their needs first, that'll bring their barriers down, and that'll be a step towards relationship building. And there's plenty of studies that show that engagement and retention, it's all about the relationship between the direct care worker and the client. Right? If you establish that relationship, they're going to be more likely to hear what you're saying. So we want to show compassion. And then the last thing is evocation. And this goes back to what we were talking about. We have inside us what it takes to complete that goal. We just do. Whether if it's saving money, eating healthy, if it's passing that exam, we know deep down what it's going to take to make that happen. So when you're interacting with someone and you're trying to understand the world from their eyes, you're trying to draw that out. Because if they say it, well, if I put a plan in place and really map it out with the vegetables, I think I can do this. If you say it, it's going to be real, it's going to be your plan, you have an investment in that success. So what we need to do is draw that out of them, right? And we do that by asking questions and having a genuine interest in them being the main character in the whole movie. And that is very important because it's one thing just to ask questions and nod your head like you're listening and thinking, damn, what kind of grocery store? I got to get my list. And you have to put all that aside and take a genuine interest. I care what this person is saying. And then they'll see that. And that'll influence or at least cause them to consider the possibility of changing or working towards that goal. Make sense? Out of these four, which stands out to you the most at Healthy Families, Florida? Which of these is the non-negotiable, we have to do it in order to be successful? Which one? Compassion? Everybody's just naming all of them now. And the reason I don't say we do all these is because it's hard to be perfect, right? It's hard to do the right things all this. It's an exhausting field sometimes. But sure, if it's compassion, if it's evocation, if it's acceptance, these are the things that are going to move the needle and connect the dots with your participants and your families. All right, you ready for your last quote? Justification confirms a worldview, empathy explores it. And this is one of the more deeper ones that hit me when I saw it. Think about that. Justification confirms a worldview, empathy explores it. What does that mean? Or at least what do you think it means when you hear it? And it's a deep one, so you can take a minute.
I think I'm gonna go deep with that one.
Yeah, right?
I guess for me, I'm seeing justification confirms the worldview. So the world is the way it is because we have stories. We justify everything. But if we go into our empathy, if we go into love with one another, then our worldview would be so different than what we're creating.
That is deep. If we practice empathy together, the world will be better. I don't disagree with that. I don't disagree with that at all. Who else? When you see this quote, justification confirms a worldview, empathy explores it. Yes?
I think it goes back to your ATM example. The justification, everybody else does it, she doesn't need the money. But when I have empathy, maybe this is her whole check, and that's what she needs for the rest of the month. I go a little bit deeper.
And that's dead on. When you're willing to think beyond what you think is what the world is and consider other perspectives, it actually causes you to be more compassionate, patient, and practice acceptance with others, right? And a good thing about this is we heard the expression, I think Jay-Z said it, if you argue with a fool from a distance, you can't tell who is who. Y'all heard that? Right? When we're in justification mode, it's all about arguing. I'm right because of this, this, and this. No, you're not because of this, this, and this. Well, what about this, this, and this? And now we're in that power struggle, that back and forth. And all that does is encourage me to dig even deeper into how I already view the world. Why change? So if we find ourselves either doing that with ourselves or our families are doing that with us, we have to take a step back and say, okay, how can I influence them to explore a different perspective than the one they're in? And if we're arguing, all that's going to do is encourage debate and back and forth. And think about debate anyways. When two politicians get on the stage, you think they really said, hey, if you make a good point tonight, I'm going to be on your side. Nah, it's all about justification. I'm going to stick in my worldview. How I see the worldview is how it is, right? So one of the best ways, if everything else I said was crazy, one of the best ways to explore and show understanding is to ask questions. Ask genuine questions. And one of my favorite examples of this is a TED Talk by Ernesto Cerelli. He went to Zambia because they were having a food shortage. And he's like, all right, I'm going to bring my group. We're going to help and solve this whole issue, right? So he goes down there and he sees this beautiful area that has a river. It's a perfect area to plant a garden and have vegetables. So he's like, all right, let's do this. He hires a bunch of people. He plants the garden. Everything's looking great. And then one morning he wakes up and everything is gone. And he's like, what's going on? So he asks one of the villagers, and the villager says, it was the hippos. He said, what do you mean the hippos? He said, at night, anytime we plant something, the hippos come out at night and they eat everything. He's like, why didn't you tell me all that when I just put all this work? He said, because you didn't ask. Right? Sometimes we get right into that writing reflex. I'm going to tell you what to do. Oh, you need to eat healthy? Oh, I know what I could do. Ask questions. And the best questions you can ask are open questions. Do we know what an open question is? What? Give me an example. Somebody yell it out to me. Everybody nodded in unison, so I need one now. Okay. I like it. The Ooh, that's my favorite. Tell me more about that. The whole purpose of an open-ended question is just to get more information and try to really understand what they're thinking, to get their wheels spinning. You heard the expression, thinking drives behavior? The more someone is thinking about the pros and cons, weighing the decision, they're really breaking down how you ask the question, the more likely they're going to take a step towards change of that goal. The more impulsive they are and the less thinking, the more they're going to stick in a habit and not do something different, right? So a good open-ended question can elicit a longer answer, whereas a closed-ended, just one word. Now, can some people answer good open-ended questions with one word? Sure. They're throwing up barriers, right? They're sizing you up. I don't really want to give them the answer. I don't know if I trust them, right? But the idea is it's all about being disciplined to your process, not the outcome. You know open-ended questions are more likely to drive thinking, so if you get one that's not a good answer, don't say open-ended questions don't work, right? It's the idea of staying disciplined to your process. Did you drive here? What was your morning like, right? Did you drive here? It's going to yes or no. What was your morning like? You might find more information about what happened at home, what happened on the ride, something very, very important. And some stems. Did I put these in your guide, by the way? Did I put these stems in there? I'm such a nice guy. That's amazing. So here are some stems that you can change any closed-ended question to an open-ended question. What are your views? Tell me more. Describe to me your experience. What are your thoughts? I wonder is one of my favorites I always use because it's a way you can actually give a suggestion without directly giving a suggestion, so it's not doesn't create resistance, I wonder what would happen if you took this approach, right? How do we ensure that this doesn't, so all of these can turn a closed-ended to an open-ended question. Again, if anything, asking a really good question to someone can mean the world to that person, especially if they genuinely care that you care about the answer, right? So the open-ended questions can help a lot with establishing relationships, establishing rapport, and moving the needle on inspiring passion. So the reason I have these up here is because we're about to do something. This is how we're going to close it with a little activity. Since you all nodded your head in unison and said, yes, we are experts in open-ended questions, we're going to have a competition. Ooh, yeah, I said it. So this is what we're going to do. Oh, see, I got ahead of I got too excited about the competition. Here's a couple ways that can get in the way of asking good questions. If you ask too many in a row, like, Ann, did you drive here? What time did you get here? Are you enjoying yourself? What does that feel like? A little overwhelming, right? An interrogation, right? Ask one question and just let it sit. Asking multiple choice, that's when we ask a really good question and then we close it. Like, hey, what are your thoughts on this training? Did you like it? Really wasn't your thing? Or is like it was okay? You see what I did? Ask, what are your thoughts? That's a good question. And then I closed it by giving the answers. A question that really isn't a question. And don't you realize this thing is important, what I'm saying? And don't you realize you should be listening? Is that really a question? I have a belief that I want to impose on Ann and get her to agree with me, right? That's not a real question. Why? Why questions are okay if you have a relationship, but early on in the process, like we don't know each other, right? If you said, I got to eat healthy, and I said, why don't you eat healthy already? Yeah, oh, whoa. You have the mask on, and I still felt the, woo! Chastely, all right. And then the last one is being uncomfortable with silence. Some people ask a really good open-ended question, and then the person is just staring at them, and they're like, and then so they ask, and they give answers, and they ask something else. If you ask a good question, and they're just staring, they're thinking. Thinking drives behavior. Let them think. If they don't know what you're talking about, they're going to be like, I don't know what you're talking about. Cool, then ask a different question, right? But be comfortable with silence. So there's just some common errors. So let's get into this competition. All right, so originally we planned for this to be a ball that I would throw at you and you would throw at each other. But because of the COVIDs, we're not going to do that. So what we can do is, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We're going to do rows. This is a team, this team right here. Then the next row is a team, next row is a team, next row is a team. What's going to happen is we're going to start at the end, and I'm going to give you a topic, and you have to ask an open-ended question on that topic, then you have to ask an open-ended question on the topic, then you have to ask, and then you have to ask, and you got 45 seconds to see how many people you can get through. Each one you ask is a point. We're going to see which row gets the championship, and I believe we have a trophy. We have a trophy. We have a swag bag. We have a swag bag for the winner. Does those instructions make sense? Everybody know where they're at? So what I'm going to say, who wants to be the first row to go first to knock this out and be brave? Right here? So it's this row here. So your topic, and I got to get 45 seconds on the clock. Anybody want to take any wagers or bets on how many you think they're going to get in 45 seconds? 5. What else? Ooh, who said 1? I like that. All right. So your topic is, let's say you go to a family and you're talking to a mom, and she's now saying that she doesn't feel that she has what it takes to be a good mother. So just think about it a second. She doesn't have what she takes to be a good mother. So all you're going to do is ask an open-ended question that you would say to her. If it's a closed-ended you ask, I'm going to be like, nope, and you got to ask a new open-ended. You got 45 seconds to go down the line and keep going until time is up. Make sense? Yeah. You're meeting a parent, and lately she's not feeling like she has what it takes to be a good mother. And it's going to be a new topic for each row. All right, ready, go.
Tell me why you're feeling that doesn't make you a good parent.
I'll take it. Next.
I wonder what your family would say I wonder what your family would say about that.
Ooh, I wonder. Okay.
Who made you feel like that?
Nope.
Tell me some of the.
Nope. Back to Ann.
What kinds of things are making you feel that way?
Like it. Yep. Right here. Yep.
I'm confused.
No, it's okay.
Tell me some of the fun things that you did with your baby this week.
I like it. 5 seconds.
Who are some of your biggest influences as mom?
No. Give me another one.
What is your favorite memories as a child with your mom?
I like it. That is 5. Give them a round of applause. Give them a round of applause. 5 points is pretty good for the first row. You guys feel like you got off lucky over here? You were going to crush it, huh? I like it. All right. That's 5 points. 5 points is the winner. Let's go to row 2. Row 2, your topic is you have a staff member that you work with. Their morale is really down, and they're really not enjoying being at work right now. They have poor morale. They're just not feeling it. They're not feeling good about where they're at in their job. That is the topic. All right. We got a mic?
Yes.
All right.
No, I don't. I can't start yet.
You were one of the first persons that nodded when I said, you know what an open-ended question is. You were like, yes. You even put your hand out and everything. I'm just playing. All right. Ready? Go.
Let's see. Tell me what led up to this, for you feeling like this.
I like it. Good.
Share with me, what does that look like when you're happy?
Ooh, I like it. Go.
Tell me what inspires you.
Like it.
Tell me things that you enjoy about the job.
Ooh, 4 tell me's.
Tell me some things you like to do outside the job.
Another tell me. Oh, you're telling a lot.
Help me understand what motivates you in the morning.
Ooh, help me understand. Nice.
What would you like to see differently in your job?
Ooh, this row is crushing it.
What are some things we can do to improve here?
Time up. Good job. That's 8. Ooh. Wow. I was a little worried with the tell me's. I thought we were going to tell everybody what we were going to tell me about. You switched it up, though. All right. A little nervous here. All right. Next row. So far, the winning row is 8 points. All right. We got our next row. Let's just say you have a supervisor who's really overwhelmed, and you want to be there for him and think of an open-ended question. Ready?
Well,
a supervisor that's feeling really overwhelmed. Never happens. All right, ready? Go.
What are some things that you've done before when you felt this way?
I like it.
What would you like to do this weekend to relax?
Okay, we're talking about the weekend.
What are some of the ways you practice self-care?
I like it. 3 whats in a row?
How can I help you?
Damn. Feel like I'm at Chick-fil-A.
Tell me what I can do to support you.
Okay, hands back. And how'd you jump back in? What in the world is happening right now?
Tell me what makes you feel this way.
Okay, we telling.
What are some of the things that inspire you in your work?
That's a deep question.
What are your spiritual practices?
Ooh, we get super deep.
You mentioned you were overwhelmed. What are some things we can do to help you with that?
Ooh, say you got 2 seconds.
Oh, no, that was
Time is up. 8 points. They are tied. Good job.
Yeah, you got it.
Wow.
I was like, there's nobody else.
Man. I've never got the how can I help you. I feel like I was at the drive-through lane. Give me a number 5. Or I like it. That's an important question, though. That's an important question. All right. Oh, my bad. Let's say a parent is struggling with the requirements of your program. So whatever they have to, that never happens, right? All right, parent is struggling with the requirements of the program. We ready? Which row is up? All right, ready, go.
How can we help you better understand our services?
Ooh.
What are the things that you don't like about the program?
Can we change our times to make it better for you? How can we change our times to make it better for you?
Thank you.
What's changed that you can't meet with us as frequently?
What's changed?
Tell me some things that we can do to better assist you.
Like it.
What would make it easier for you?
Ooh.
What activities do you want to see us complete in the program?
Oh, you guys are rolling. Keep going.
I'm a different team, right? Oh, I'm a different team.
Oh, you're going back? Oh, sorry. I totally screwed up.
Tell me what we can do to inspire you.
Ooh, right there at the last minute. That's 9. Oh, give them a round of applause. Oh, my goodness.
I'm so
I feel like you
sorry,
have
guys.
money on this team up
Right.
here.
All right, now I'm giving it to you.
Oh, my goodness. That's amazing. All right, 9 is the winner. Let's keep it rolling. Let's keep it rolling. Let's imagine a parent that does not want you in their home anymore. Where are we at? Right here? Parent does not want you in the home. You are not coming back. I'm done with this. Ready? Go.
Is there any other place that we can meet? Why do you not want me in the home?
That works.
You mentioned not wanting me in your home anymore. Is there anything I can do to change your view? What are some things I can do to change your view?
Yeah, I like it.
What could be different with our program to help you?
Ooh, nice.
Tell me what changed.
Nice. Keep it moving.
Tell me what you need from us.
Oh, a double tell me. Nice.
Oh, me again?
Time is ticking.
Where else can we meet in the community that would be helpful to you?
What were the favorite parts of the program when you were receptive to me coming in the home?
Like it. Time is up. Give them a round of applause. 7.
Nicely done.
7.
Nicely done.
7. All right, what's our last? How many rows we got? 2? You guys want to team up as one row, or you want to have your own row?
Oh, wait, maybe 3.
Let's team up on the last one. Ooh, that's 17 points. That's 17 points. That's champions. Let's have the topic imagine you are feeling like there really isn't an opportunity to grow anymore in your work. So imagine what would be a good question for you. For you. You are feeling like it's not a good opportunity to grow anymore. You're struggling with that. All right, who are we starting with? I need 17 points strong. We're pointing at each other. Well, who has the mic? Oh, thank you. All right. You ready? Go.
Tell me some more about why you're feeling like there's no opportunities for growth.
I'm with it.
What has changed recently in the job that's led you to feel this way?
What can I do to I don't know. This is really hard. You gave us the hardest one.
Oh, okay, why are you yelling at me?
That's why
you got the clock going.
I don't know.
What do you think made this happen?
I like it.
Tell me what we can do to help you feel differently.
Nice.
You took mine.
Sure.
What can I do, or what can we change to help? Shoot, I don't know.
I like it. We're almost there. I like it. What can we change? One more.
What do you think has contributed to these feelings?
Boom. One more.
What was the question again?
I like it. We're giving them a round of applause. That was a great one. Give them a round of applause. What was the question? That is amazing. That was just terrific. Oh my goodness. All right, we are at the conclusion of this. And the reason we do, to your point, the reason we do activities like this and try to move it and make it a competition and hectic is because when you go visit families, it's not all roses and everything's peaceful and everything's easy. There's a lot of crisis, right? When you're working with a staff, you got calls coming in, you got an email, maybe your supervisor's calling, you got something going on at home. It's chaos. So when you're practicing this, the idea is practice it in chaos. Get it. How do you respond in that moment? And then keep practicing, right? All right, so let's end here. I told you I was only going to do 3 quotes, but I had to add 4. The last one is, I know why you got promoted. So when I transitioned from case manager to program manager, I went and met this young man at his school. And I said, hey, man, how's attendance doing? It doesn't look like great. He's like, don't worry about that. I'll handle it. Okay. I said, well, talk to me about where you're at with the employment. Man, I don't got time for that. Why don't you do the applications for me? Okay, right? So we're talking. He's giving me resistance. And I just happened to mention, I said, hey, man, I just want to let you know, I got moved from case manager to program manager. So you're not going to see me in the field as much. I'm still going to be around, but you're not going to see me as much. Just want to give you a heads up. He said, all right, that's nice. Where am I with probation? Okay, so we talked about probation, right? So we had our conversation, and then we're about to wrap up. We're about to leave, and he goes, I know why you got promoted. And I thought he was going to say something really slick. But knowing me, I had to ask. I was like, I don't really want to know the answer, but all right, why do you think I got promoted? And he said, because you never give up on kids and you never gave up on me. And that was a big moment for me because what he didn't know, it wasn't just about giving up on him. I didn't give up on myself, and my dedication to what I believe worked. So that's my last message with you all is don't give up on yourselves. Things are going to get tough. Keep pressing forward, and the outcome will come. Thank you, everybody.